Hi everybody, good evening. Welcome to Detox tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. And if you need anything, feel free to use the live chat on the YouTube video. If you need to ask any questions about getting set up, or if you want to let me know about anything that you're feeling in your body or just thoughts that you're having, use that live chat on the YouTube video. Hey Derek. Hi Chandrea. Hey Ari, good evening. Hey Jackie, so nice to have you and congratulations on the little one. I've seen pictures on the Instagram, so cute. Hope you guys are doing well. I know this is definitely not what you're expecting to be going on in your life when you have a baby. So I hope you guys are doing well, enjoying the kind of phase of nesting with a newborn, but I know that's a lot too. So sending you guys lots of love. I ask you all to explore this question for yourself in the practice tonight. What are you if you love and enjoy the vinyasa practice and you love moving your body and you love flow and you love arm balances and going upside down, but you also equally love and detox and holding poses passively for 3, 4, 5, who knows, sometimes 6 minutes long. Okay, what are you? What does that mean? And something for you to not think about during your practice, but planting a seed there for sure. Hi Roz, good evening. Hi Stephanie. bring that up because as you continue to observe the world and the energy of the world, we typically get these two ends of the spectrum. We get the people that like to go but really don't appreciate the mode of slowing down or stopping, and then we get the people that like to, keep it chill and keep it, flowing on that yin side, but really don't like to ramp it up. So if you can branch out, at least in these classes, and find an appreciation for both, and just see what that means for you. Okay, we got a couple minutes, you guys. In about a minute, I'm going to start the live stream playlist. If you're following along and you prefer just to start your own playlist on Spotify, pull up my account, Joe Komar, and there's a playlist for every class that we've been doing during this quarantine. Which again, quarantine translated, retreat. Obviously, there's a lot more weight and suffering and sadness that is going on right now in the world and through all of us as humans. So it doesn't hold that context of retreat like I took a week off of work and I unplugged and I checked out on a beautiful island, with a beach and a house and a pool and food and 2 yoga classes a day. But if you take all of that attachment away from the word retreat, it's really what we've been asked to do, and to keep ourselves safe and to keep each other safe. All right, I'm going to start the playlist. So if you are following along on Spotify, go ahead and start your playlist. Make sure I see you guys pop up here on the Earbuds Music app. Hi, Bri, welcome back. Excellent. Hi, Amy. As you're getting set up, I will encourage you, if your mind has been toggling around the practice and thinking, oh, I need that flow today, or your mind saying, I need that detox, or vice versa, it's saying, I don't really need that flow today, or I don't really need that detox. I would say that your mind is probably kind of trumping or overriding the ritual of the practice. So it really doesn't matter what your mind thinks. Follow your path, follow your journey through in that ritual. If you put it out there, if you believe in it, if you believe that there's benefits to the consistency of your practice, and worry far less about what you actually do for these 2 hours that you're on the mat. And be with whatever it is, be with your breath, be with your power, be with your peace, be with your struggles, be with your emotions, be with everything. And that possibly turns up when you're on your mat. Hi, Keeney. Hi, PG. Hi, Sherry. Welcome back. Hi, cousin. All right, let's start lying on our backs, please. Once you got everything set up with your video and the volume for the instruction, and then your music if you're adding that on. And your back with your legs long and your arms by your sides, palms facing up, please. Ashley, welcome back. Nice to have you. All right, I'm going to join you guys in Shavasana. It's the best part of this. I've gotten to join you in every practice. Maybe not the best part, I shouldn't say that. There's a lot going on. So please excuse my vocabulary around using the word best. It's just simply something that I appreciate energetically, that we get to share these experiences together. Personally, I've never done this many nights of detox practice in a row. And I think those of us that have are really recognizing the benefits of what it does for our sleep. And give your head a gentle rock side to side. And feel your neck tonight. Soften the jaw, relax the muscles in your neck and the scalene muscles connecting down into your chest. And even if you're not relaxing them yet, at least you're acknowledging what they feel like. I'm sure each of us can go down and realize the struggles of being versus our mind tapping or toggling into our wants, into our needs. There's a lot of that element coming up now for sure as we fear or have some uncertainty around the future, which is always the case, but it's got a big exclamation mark on it right now. Uncertainty, unknown. A couple more rocks side to side on your head. And then you can let your head soften back at center. And slide your shoulder blades out a little bit. And then find this pause in a pose like Shavasana. In a pose where you're lying flat on your back and your front half of the body is wide open. And concentrate a light focus on the connection of the back of the head and touching your mat or touching the floor beneath you. And if there are sensations and that you should know about or anything that you're feeling in your body, and scan your body and become more aware of those sensations or where the tightness may exist, where you might be holding on to tension, or where you simply feel something versus nothing. A real simple tool when you're spun through your mind, when you're really spinning, like the top is spinning fast. It would be to lie down on your back just like you're doing right now. And without changing it, begin to observe the rise and the fall of your belly. If you've been practicing with me for a while, you've only heard that instruction in a class about 10,000 times. But it's a matter of when the mind is open to linking and connecting that as part of your mindful practice and the practice that will stay with you even once you leave your mat. And the practice that'll kick in when you are stressed. Your mind is moving and you say, I just got to lie down for a minute. And without trying to change it, I just got to watch my belly go up and down. That's it. Go ahead and let a sigh out of your mouth. And put a bend to your knees so that your feet come flat onto the mat. And like you're putting your legs in an eagle pose, and let's start with crossing your left leg over your right leg. And your knees stack, your inner thighs touch. And best you can to keep your low back flat and start to bring your knees towards your chest. And you're going to reach under and interlace the fingers on top of your right shin. And get your knuckles to go past each other. And so that'll kind of lock your grip in without using a whole lot of strength. It's normal if you feel like your hips are a little twisted because you have one leg crossed on top. So now, you resolve without strength and surrender to gravity. Let the natural breath and loosen up any resistance that you might feel in your body. And when you need it for the mind, you have the ability to observe your breath. This isn't about controlling your mind or not allowing your mind to drift and to move, to contemplate or think. But if you need it for a light focus, and you can observe the natural breath with your mind. Opening pose, everybody let your grip go nice and slow. And release your feet back down onto the mat. And feel that open your belly as you uncross your legs and extend both of your legs back down onto your mat. And feel some of these as you release the compression. Mostly that was in your left hip and hip crease. And relax all the way down to your toes and enjoy a moment here. As you get more and more in touch and more intimate with the sensations and what you can feel. You become far less critical of your mind and analyzing your mind and judging your mind far less. And take it slow. Let's bend the legs, bring your feet flat. And right leg crosses over your left leg this time. And so your knees are stacked, and then nice and slow, bring your knees towards your chest. You reach under and then grab for the top of your left shin. Knuckles through knuckles. And then let your shoulders and your head come back down. Shoulders first, then head. If your chin is popping up to the sky, you could always put that blanket underneath your head, and so that you can enjoy and release the muscles in your face and your neck. You don't want to be gripping and holding on to that yang energy, and sit in this space of the yin. It's the ice to the fire. Opening pose, everybody go ahead and soften your grip. And let your feet come back down onto the mat. And you feel this release as you extend your legs long, rest your arms. And feel the decompressed state, the openness of the flow as you break down. And continue to break down. Any tension, any tightness, any stress that is sitting in your body tonight. do a little double here. So bring your feet flat onto the mat. And with your arms by your sides, press through your feet so that you can lift your hips and then slide your hands underneath your bum. So you're sitting on the back of your hands. The elbows can be turned out slightly. And kind of set your hands so you create a little diamond shape with your first fingers and your thumbs framing your sacrum. And then let the soles of the feet or just roll to the outer edges of your feet as your knees go wide. And feel into the bones of your thighs connecting to your pelvis. It may feel good. Keep the feet together, but you can slide the heels further away or keep them up closer towards the pelvis. And drop the eyes heavy. And take any tension out of your lips. And put that light focus in the connection of your upper back, sinking, softening, and letting go into the ground beneath you. Perhaps you can feel the pulse, energy in your body and through the front of your hips. Like that feeling of the heartbeat in your chest, but it's in the front of your hips. Be patient and observe all the sensations as you begin to roll your knees back up. And once your feet come flat onto the mat once again, you can slide one and then the other hand out and from underneath your bum. And then let your hips go back down onto the mat. You can keep your legs bent so your feet are flat, but then just take your wrist up so your arms come into a cactus shape elbows in line with your shoulders, and your forearms parallel to each other. And feel this release, and you can take a few deeper breaths into your chest here tonight. Use your feet, scoot your bum to the right a little bit. And roll onto your left hip, and so that you can bring yourself all the way around to all fours. Okay, so a little different tonight as you sit up on your tabletop. You've done this before, but you slide your right knee towards your right wrist. And keep your heel tucked in behind your bum, so underneath your bum. But then take your right hand, okay, come forward, and pull your right wrist all the way up, back in behind your knee. Okay, from there, you're going to slowly slide your left knee and your hips back. And use your left arm as a guide. Come down onto your elbow. And keep letting your hips get heavy. And your right elbow can release towards the ground. And your left fist might come in handy and to rest your forehead. And so we're getting the belly to rest on your thigh, but then also using the wrist for a calf smash. And this will certainly turn up some tension in your jaw, so relax the jaw. Notice if you feel some fire and some heat. That's okay, sit with it. And this can be a lot, you guys. Stay with it, soften the best you can. And whatever's working through you, allow the practice to be your process. Not that you need to understand, or not that it needs to be clear right now, but be in the process. Cool, about one more minute on this side, please. And please use your left arm as the guide. As you start to lift your head up, and lean into your left elbow so that you can bring your hips forward just enough and to slide your right wrist out. And then bring your right forearm in front. And you can slide your right leg straight back behind you. And you feel free to turn the inner edges of your feet into your mat, and so your toes turn out and your hips splay open. And let your belly release into the mat. And close your eyes, soften your jaw, and be here. And keep your head heavy and your jaw loose. I hope you enjoyed that rebound and start to make your way back up onto your hands. And you'll start to see as you've been practicing detox that the rebound doesn't only exist on your mat, and the rebound exists in our lives all the time. And there's always more space, that is open, especially when there's more energy swirling around you. You'll start to see the pockets. And slide your left knee forward towards your left wrist. And then take your left wrist and tuck it in behind your left knee. And get it up there as tight as you can. And then slide your right foot back. And start to make your way down onto your right elbow. And so you got belly to thigh, and then you got the calf smash using the bone in your wrist. And we're also taking care of those texting fingers. And so a little compression and release, fresh flow and coming into the joints of your hands. And eventually when we come out of this shape, your right hand may come in handy as a fist to set your forehead down. It just depends. Use your things, use your blankets, and support yourself. And it's a process. And you got to go through it, right through it. You ride the waves, as we like to say, up and down, all the way around. Sometimes they crash on top of you.
And sometimes you ride them so smooth all the way into the shore. And just ride the waves. And it's so cool how allowing the mind to exist with the body changes the mind dramatically. Its energy, its focus, its weird and windy pattern of thought, and hopefully less anticipated, more of an opportunity to observe and even to be surprised, and kind of like a dreamlike state as you sit in the length of some of these poses. And if you're feeling it a bit, that's okay. And gently start to lift your head off your hand. And use your right arm and so that you can lift your hips just enough. And take your left wrist out. And bring your left forearm forward as you slide both legs straight back. And let your hips go into the mat. You can flip the toes out. And so you feel that external rotation of your hips and release of your belly into the mat. And keep your chest propped up and let your head drop. And you're welcome to close your eyes. Enjoy this. And since you're here on your elbows already, we're going to take the heels of the hands. You might have to slide your elbows forward a little bit. Palms are facing up. And then bring your eye sockets, close the eyes obviously, and let the heels of the hands rest into the socket of the eyes. And feel the weight of your skull and rest into your hands. And to release every muscle on your face. This might be another newly discovered sensation, and possibly even something you've never felt before. You see if the pressure of the hands and the eyes are creating some cool patterns or shapes or visualizations, flickers of light. And just maybe this is you looking at some energy in your brain tonight. And now, as slowly as you can, keep watching those patterns and shapes as you start to lessen the weight of the eyes and the hands. And there may be some emotional release here. You may have some tears flowing through your eyes. That's okay. And keep your eyes closed. And start to make your way back onto your hands. And we'll come back up into a tabletop with your head heavy and your eyes closed. And if you get to your tabletop and the eyes are closed, and you're welcome to move it around a little bit, and hips can go side to side. And the head goes in the opposite direction of your hips. And feel into your lateral body, your side bodies. And then you can let your eyes come back into the room looking down. And crawl your knees forward just a bit and sit back onto your heels. And so we're not going to use a block on this one. Just lean to your right and swing your left leg out in front of you. And then rather than sitting directly on your heel, let the heel of the foot come just outside of your hip. So you're sitting inside. Your left butt cheek is down on the ground. And possibly your right as well, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, and then find that orientation or setup that you need for your right leg. So this is a deep inflection to your right knee. So it might help to take the knee out a little bit wider. And we kind of set it up with some of the previous poses. So hopefully your right leg can chill there, and your left toes can relax. And then we're going to start to come back down onto our left elbow. Your left elbow is a kickstand. And then your right hand can just come around. And you could touch your left hand or your left wrist. And then your head can fall, so your left ear is settling down towards your shoulder. It should feel so nice into the right side of your neck. When I use the word nice, and that is another relative nature and vocabulary. We're all going to have our own experience. Just be with the process of your practice. It's a beautiful reminder, mindfulness for your mind to not get so fixed and so rigid. And thinking you have to make a statement. You are a process, energetic human being. Figuring out where the flow feels best.
where you can have a deeper understanding and reflection of your true self. And it doesn't put you on top or make you any better than anybody else. It actually does quite the opposite. And you start feeling equal with all beings. Because it's not about what you want or what you need. It's about being. And you are welcome to stay right where you are. If you'd like to explore lying down onto your back, a left shoulder first and then your right shoulder next. And if that's too far, you can always come back up onto your left elbow. It's okay if your right knee hovers off the mat a little bit. It's not about keeping that knee fixed, but it is keeping your right foot tucked. If your body is screaming at you right now, say what's up. Let it scream. Just make sure you're not sitting in pain. Discomfort, totally fine. Pain, you'll know the difference. If you made your way down onto your back, a little roll back to your left. And draw your belly in, slowly start to come back up onto your left elbow. And then use your hands, bring your chest back up. The right hand to your right ankle, and so that you can slide your right foot out. And you're going to let that knee extend, take it slow. It might feel pretty achy. And then you can just kind of gently hold on to the back of your right hamstring and soften your belly and let your head hang heavy here. And it might be waiting for you to let go and to take a breath and to feel this sigh of relief.
bet you can't wait. You just can't wait for the other side of this one. And so lean to your right a little bit. And start to bend your left leg, tuck the foot, and top of the foot, and so you're sitting just inside of your left heel. And it's pretty cool having two sides of the body, having a front to the body and a back to the body. But what you're doing mostly here is you're divulging and exploring the layers of the body. How many layers exist? Nobody really knows. We just know how and somehow in certain parts of our body there's miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. You have pieces that are all connected together. And start to come back onto our right elbow to set up this side. And so right elbow under, just behind your right shoulder. And this is the start of it. As you release your ear towards your shoulder, should get a amazing stretch in the left side of your neck. If that question is floating around your mind, like, should you push yourself into these positions? Absolutely not. You shouldn't even be breathing into these positions and just acknowledging and observing the breath as it entertains the posture and the shape. And sometimes the drastic sensations in the shape, dramatic sensations in the shape. And you may recall at the beginning when I suggested exploring what it means if you love to flow. You love that yang, flow energy, physicality. But you also love this, the yin. And you can love both. You are more than welcome to stay here on your elbow. If you'd like to start to come down onto your shoulders, go right shoulder first. And remember, it's okay if your left knee does draw off the mat. And then from your right shoulder, you can start to roll onto your back, so your left shoulder comes down. Don't worry about what it looks like. I think y'all got that at this point. And remember, if that's too much, you learn by exploring the process of being in the process, and so you can just navigate the process a little differently and stay up on your elbow tonight. It could be the first time you're ever doing this in your entire life.
strong urge and come out of this, I would encourage you, if you're not experiencing pain, if it's just really finite discomfort, that you stay with it. You let this posture blossom and develop into more space in your body, more space in your mind, more compassion in your heart for yourself, the beauty of understanding yourself, believing in yourself, and trusting yourself. Hey everyone, if you went down onto your back, draw your belly in just a little bit as you roll towards your right shoulder. And use your left hand, and so that you can come back up to your right elbow. And from your elbow to your palm. And then left hand to your left ankle as you gently start to release your left leg back out in front of you. Go slow. You're going to feel that left leg into your knee, down into your foot. And let your hands rest underneath your left hamstring. And then just drop your head here. And you can slide your hands out and simply go ahead and make your way onto your back. And just like you started, as you release to your back, you continue to feel the ripple effect of all this energy and the sensations and the flow. And new channels opened up and throughout your body, and also new tracks in your mind in a different way. And not only to visualize your experience tonight, but to actually step into whatever moment comes next. And as you lie down, if you'd like to, please close your eyes. And the beauty of this is there's no way to intellectualize all of the movement and all of the space. There's no way to measure it. Just be with it. Be with you. this place where you feel full and completely supported with love, with nourishment, with positivity. The desire perhaps to be a more peaceful example of light that is reflecting and moving across our planet. And this light is with you anywhere you go, but it's really with you anywhere you sit still. And I thank you all for sharing the practice this evening. You know you're welcome to stay where you are and relax for as long as you like. Go slow, be kind, and be patient with yourself. Have a beautiful sleep, and I hope to see you all tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for our vinyasa practice on the mat. Until then, namaste.